For more insight, we are joined by criminal defense and civil attorney Mark Reichel. Mark, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
So as you heard, this is the first ever criminal trial for a former U.S. president. Can you give us the nuts and bolts of how this is likely to play out and how long this likely will take?
Well, the first inning, what you're first going to see, I believe, is the judge setting the ground rules for how this will work. Okay, he's going to come up with a schedule, calendar-wise, but he's also, I think, going to give the ground rules about what both parties can do with the media, with jury selection, how to present themselves in the courtroom, and some of the other things. That's going to be day one. That's what's going to be taken care of.
You know, we just heard from former Trump attorney Jim Trusty last hour. He believes that potential jurors may lie or omit certain things in order to make the cut. Tell me about that. In your experience, just how common is that? Is that a legitimate concern?
That's not that common, but it's that important, because if they really are lying like that, or if they really do want to get on so they can write a book or whatever thereafter, that's going to corrupt the process. So I can guarantee you that the DA's office and the judge are going to be very meticulous with asking all of these questions. It's going to take longer to pick this jury than it normally would for those exact reasons.
You know, the jury questionnaire, we're getting a look at it, and I do want to bring up some of these points. It includes questions for them about whether jurors belong to certain groups, the Proud Boys on there, Antifa on there. In your mind, what is the reason for asking these specific questions? Are these fair questions?
Oh, yeah, I think they're definitely fair. And in this case, because this president is a lightning rod. This former president is a lightning rod on both sides. So this is appropriate in this case because you really do want to get a fair cross-section of the community, but those with open enough minds to listen to the facts, apply the law that the judge gives, and give this nation just a tremendously fair verdict either way.
You know, Michael Cohen expected to be a star witness for the prosecution, but who else could give answers that benefit the DA in this case?
Well, it's really interesting. Originally, I thought it was Hope Hicks, but I've realized that, look, everyone for the DA's office is going to come in to testify has real problems with credibility. Now, Ms. Hicks, by the way, testified before Congress under oath in 2019 that the first she heard of the hush money payments were in November, long afterwards. So that's really somewhat inconsistent with the prosecution theory. I think what's really going to help them is Mr. Pecker from what we call the National Enquirer, who honestly was in on these discussions, personal discussions with the former president at the time before the payments were made with Mr. Cohen about what to do should this happen. So his testimony is going to be really important, as well as some of the evidence I think is going to be demonstrative evidence, specifically a map of the phone calls that took place, because that's really important. It shows Hope Hicks, Donald Trump calling Michael Cohen, long conversation, getting off the phone. Cohen calls Pecker at AMI, or National Enquirer as we know it. The National Enquirer calls Cohen back, who then calls Trump back. And this all takes place right when they're contacted by Stormy Daniels' attorney demanding the hush money.
And Mark, very quickly, your professional opinion, what do you believe the outcome may be?
I'll be real quick, but he could be found guilty of only misdemeanors as well. This could result in a hung jury. It's a tough case for the defense. It's a tough case for the prosecution. I'm telling you, both sides have a very difficult case ahead of them.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.